Hey guys, it's Grant Balfour here, ex-pitcher of the Tampa Bay Rays, Oakland Athletics, Minnesota Twins, Milwaukee Brewers, Cincinnati Reds. I just wanted to say you're watching MattieC Sports for You and Me podcast. Enjoy the show. Mattie's got a lot of great things to talk about, wide range of sports. Get on there. Hope to see you guys soon on the show. All right, guys. Take care.
On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch.
Coming in at 320 kilobytes per second, it's time for MattieC's Sports for you and me.
All right, good morning, everybody. This is MattieC Sports for you and me. I got a special guest here. This is a UFC veteran here, and he probably will come back for sure. Now, this here is Michael Rodriguez, or Mike Rodriguez. How you doing this morning, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just got up, got my cup of coffee. Good to go.
Love it, man. Love it. So you just signed a contract with CES.
Yep.
You're going to be on CES 69 card.
Yep.
How do you feel coming back into it with CES?
I feel good. I feel rejuvenated. I think the time off, I needed it. I was going through a lot of shit, personal shit, between most of my my UFC fight career. So now it's a big weight off my chest. I went through it. It's over with. Now, just getting back on it, you know.
Now, you yourself got like a great team in where you train and where you fight, and obviously you work with Lozon in his gym.
Yep.
How is it the relationship with like you and Joe? And I mean, we were discussing earlier, like how pretty much the New England MMA family is legit that. Like there's some people that don't get along with each other, but it happens. But like
Right.
all together, like, you know, I see it myself, like all y'all welcomed me into the community, like, you know, talking all the time. And, you know, I say, you want to come back on the show? And like, hell yeah. Like, you know, how does it feel to like just be a family instead of like foes? You know what I mean?
Man, it feels good, especially with Joe at the helm. Joe's the man. You know, he's been around. He's been in this game for I don't know how long. He was my mentor. Still is my mentor. He's mentored to a lot of other fighters. We can't do what like other states can do, like what Florida does and Texas and all this. Like we don't have all that, so we have to use the entire whole New England to come together to equate to like go against those other states. But yeah, we get it done, man. We make it work. But that's the thing. We need to stop with all this beef and shit, man. It's New England versus the world. We should be fighting each other.
Yeah, I mean, we got a little bit here and there, and you know, I've seen it, and I don't want to name names, but it's like it's crazy. Like you're fighting with each other in two different promotions, and it's like, well, what are you doing that for? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't get it. I think we should be fighting all them outsiders, man. Or to fight them all.
And it's like, you know, all y'all all y'all big timers. Well, I wouldn't say big timers, but like guys that are like really pushing their career, and you guys are fighting big name guys. Like you're all like looking forward to fighting, and you're not dealing with all the bullshit. You guys are really just starting to get back together. You yourself, you're refocusing on your career instead of like harping on what happened with UFC, whatever things were going on with you. I mean, do you feel coming back to New England and coming back to CES is like something that's really dear to you? Because I mean, I know you fought with CES before.
Yeah, well, so half of my career is with CES.
And the Birchfields, they're very family orientated too.
Yes, that's correct.
Did you feel that welcome again? When you talk with Jimmy, the dynamic duo, junior and senior.
Oh yeah. I was at the last couple of CES events I went to. That it was the one I was at, the one in Connecticut last month, and then the month before that, there was the last one that was in Twin River. I was there again. So yeah, it's cool to be back.
And it's cool because they welcome you in different ways. I was at the card where Doomsday was the main card. That was CS 56. Yeah. And, it was really fun. And, like the Thursday before we went to Longmeadow, because the fight was in Springfield. And it was funny because like I'm going to an Italian restaurant out there, and that's like 2 hours away, and I think it's owned by Senior. And
okay.
And I go in there, and I'm like, he's like, "You media?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So then at the end of it, he has long speeches, as you know.
That's so funny. That's so funny you said that.
I mean, it's a good thing because he appreciates everybody that comes into the cards and comes into his own realm. And it's funny because I was there, and we were at this Italian place, and he's like, "Did you eat yet?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't eat yet." And I was nervous because like I never worked with CES. And he goes, "Listen, just go and eat. Like, just go, just eat." It's just like it's so funny because he just this old school Italian dude just like telling me like, "You better eat." I'm like, "I've just been here. I just drove 2 hours. Hell yeah, I'm gonna eat."
For real.
But nah, like in all jokes aside, like, I appreciate all the guys that came in and welcomed me. Like I thank Peter Barrett for welcoming me into the MMA world. Lionel big time because he's introduced me to his gym and his crew over there. Just the names go on. I mean, even Joe the Party Penafiel, who fought Lionel, he's welcomed me. He's from Orlando, so it's like I appreciate every single solitary person. For the most part, are family, and they're just like they're good peoples. And for you, I know that you coming back, it's like everybody knows you. Like you're a popular name in this community. And
good, man.
And I mean, you've been on so many fucking UFC cards, man. It's crazy. Like, I mean, is that a lot of like? Was it more fun, or was it more like a pressure thing?
See, it was a pressure thing. That's the thing. I couldn't handle the pressure. It was so much expectations. It felt like everything I had to do would be perfect. It was like, you gotta fucking train 2 times a day. You gotta make sure you get to practice early, blah, blah, blah. Like, and granted, it's good to be disciplined. It's good, but it's like the amount of pressure was on me at the time, and not like a full, stable support system was another headache in the whole factor of it all. So, but, I'm doing work the best way I can,
And it seems like you rejuvenated, like just from, I mean, you fought last September last year, something like that. But I mean, I can see that, like, yesterday you seemed excited signing back, you know, only from, you know, seeing the Instagram, but it seemed like you were happy, like, coming back to the area and, you know, redoing your steps and, you know, not worrying about that. Because I don't know how the fuck you guys do the sauna shit, like cutting weight. Like, I seen, like, how does that feel, man? It's like it's not a good positive thing going in a sauna for you guys, you know, like, you guys sweating yourself to cut weight. It's crazy.
You get used to it after a while. Do the right things. So, like, I know a lot of dudes who are like, they're like, oh, I got loaded pounds to diet down from, but in the sauna, that is no bueno. You want to diet down as much as you possibly can, then cut the rest. You know, try to cut corners. Cutting corner asses doesn't do good for you, dog. Don't do good for you. Not in this one. Can't cut no corners.
Now, what's the fun stuff in UFC?
Just being in that environment. You know, it's like into, like, for example, if you go to the PI, you go upstairs, it's like when that room is filled with other fighters, you can feel work in the air. Like, you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? And you will to get lost. It's that simple.
You cut out a little, but
And you either got to get with it or get lost. The way it is in there, when you go into the PI, the energy level is just so good. It just has this feel of hard work, you know.
And, you know, is there cool people like I know one of the people I've talked to a lot is Carlos Candelario. He's fighting on Saturday, and he's like, it's like, yo, you just met Snoop Dogg? He's like, yeah, he's pretty chill, but I can only talk to him for like 10 minutes. Like, I mean, do you see people like that around and saying what up to them?
When I fought on the Contender Series, I met Snoop as well. And same thing. It was like my fight was the last fight on the card. So we went after we was done fighting or whatever. I met him. He dapped me up, etc. Took up pictures of him. Took up pictures with him, and that was pretty much it. It was like real brief. It wasn't long at all, but it was still cool. But I met like a bunch of fighters in passing, going to the PI, and just being like in Vegas and shit.
Yeah, that must have been cool as shit, man. But that's what the hard work pays off. Like, you know, you come in there and then you see these people, and I'm sure it's like it's cool to see, you know, even on your own card, like if you're fighting on the card you're supposed to be, like, you're seeing the main event people, you're seeing guys that, you know, put in as much work as you do in the octagon. So it's like, whoa, like I do this for a living, like I do this all the time. So I mean, you feel like UFC was a positive thing at the same time, like really gaining your confidence, and then coming back here and you're like, I'm ready to fight the world again.
You are amongst the 1%. That industry. So out of all the MMA fighters in the world, you're in the UFC, you're at the 1%. You're where everybody wants to get to. You know, it's like if all the basketball players that play in the NBA, all the basketball players around the world are trying to get to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same deal. So it felt really good. It feels really good. And like you said, it is a boost of confidence. There isn't any other sleeping lions out there. Of course, there's savages out there, but, you know, in the world, which feels good to me to say be a part of that, you know.
Well, it's funny because I'm like, I saw Joe Lozon for a minute or two at the post fight of Peter, and is he like that where he just is like no emotion, just straight up like a brick wall?
Joe, it's really hard to get emotion out of him. It's really hard. Like he's usually just very stoic, but he'll have his moments. The way Joe shows. So Joe and I were really close, and the way he will show that he cares is like in a bunch of little subtle ways. He won't just come on and be like, "Hey, listen, I love you, dog." Like, nah. If you say it to him first, depending on who you are, you say it to him first, he'll say it. But like, you won't hear Joe come on and be like, "Yo, I love you," and give you a hug. Nah, he'll give you a hug. Like, he'll be like, "What's up?" Like every time I see him, it's always love. But like, he'll show you in a lot of other ways, like, you know, you like watch footage with you, he's there for you. You know, you need somebody like you can always count on Joe to be with you. If you're in the good with him, he will always be there for you, no matter what. He'll make his way to try to be there for you in any shape, way, or form. Especially in terms of like for fighting aspects. Do you need help with shit? He'll be there for you too. Because not only that, he's been through it all. There's nothing he can't, like, he never seen before. Also, he loves the game. He loves the game. So, if you see, so he'll be all in on it. If you like, yo, man, like, I'm a little nervous about this fight, blah, blah, blah. Like, can you help me do a breakdown of it? He's like, yep, sure thing. Let's see it. And, you know, he'll take that initial step to help you out.
Well, it's funny because, again, he was at a post-fight interview, and you know Pete, here he is, he's all happy and like up in the air, and Joe's just sitting in a chair, just straight up like
yeah. That's Joe. Just
I can tell how he is, and he is literally an encyclopedia of the MMA game. He knows every friggin' thing on earth. Like, and I respect Joe and I like Joe. I won't say I love him, so that's a good good advice there. But you know, is he gonna be in your corner, or is he gonna be doing the telecast for your fight?
I think he'll be doing the commentating for sure. But I haven't even like going over what I just got the fight, and I'm like, all right, let's set up a camp. Now I have a job. I work with
I can't hear you, man. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I just couldn't hear you.
So I also work at a gym. That's in Dorchester. It's a nonprofit MMA gym. And so I schedule my fight camp with that in mind as well, because I still want to keep my do my duties as a coach over there.
I think your headphones are cutting out, man. Sorry, can't hear you.
Oh shit! My bad. Sorry about that.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah. So, so with you and the nonprofit, I mean, does it really? Do you motivate and teach kids and stuff like that too?
Yeah, I teach MMA there, and I'm also going to be running like a boys group there as well. So that's going to be pretty awesome. I'm pretty looking forward to that. I'm going to be running the summer camp there which is like kind of designed. So my end of the summer camp is going to be designed like kind of like a fight camp, where like we're going to be training, doing strength conditioning, things of that nature. It's going to be pretty sick. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be awesome.
And that's excellent, man. Like getting kids out instead of playing Fortnite and, things like that,
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing. The kids need more activities like, sports, whether it be soccer, football, hockey, the list goes on, but
Right.
like, I think that's a really cool thing because somewhat that's a new thing to kids and maybe that'll inspire them to go into the MMA game, like, I think that's a really cool thing you're doing and helping out the kids and stuff like that. I respect that.
Yeah. There's a bunch of programs for basketball, for like inner city youth basketball programs, football programs, baseball, etc. But now it's time to get an MMA one,
That's excellent, man. That's excellent. Yeah. And you'll be the creator and people will start following after you.
Hell yeah, man. That's the plan. That's the ultimate plan of what I want to do. I want to have a little like program. Give me all your bad kids. We'll turn them into fighters.
Give me the kids that can't grapple, but they can throw bows. Give them an all-around experience.
Yeah.
So with the camp and stuff, what does it take to bring in a camp? Like, for you, like what brings in a fighting camp for you to prepare for CES?
That's a really good question. What I need for me to bring in is people that are motivating, people that are encouraging, people that will help me push forward. So like,
all right, I'm on my way.
You said what?
I'm on my way.
Yeah. I just need like people that would help you push, like they'll push me, like you bring the best out of you. You can't surround yourself by people that will tell you you can't do something or you won't do something or thing of that nature. I never been the type of person like if there's a problem, don't tell me how it can't be done. Show me how it can be done. You know what I'm saying? Let's figure out how it can be done. So things of that nature is what I need. But other than that, like I would go to Joe's more often, but I live so far from him. It's literally like an hour and 10-minute commute for me now.
That's he's in Taunton, right? Yeah.
No, he's in Raynham.
Raynham, I'm sorry.
Further south.
Neighbor to that town, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the things I need. But before I can do that, I'm gonna leave for a little bit. I leave next week. I'm gonna go to Albuquerque.
Okay.
Go out there and train out there for a bit. And then I'll be back and going through a full-fledged camp and shit. It should be fun.
That's awesome. And I was talking to Lionel about that. And going to another state, going to another gym, like, is that like kind of like another rejuvenation in yourself, like a little bit of a vacation without being a vacation? Like you going to Albuquerque, is that like a breath of fresh air type of thing? And then you come back and you're like, all right, like I'm back, I'm ready to go. Like let's clock into work.
So the Albuquerque thing is a combination of a mixture of things. One, it's to see if like training abroad would help, because one of the biggest things that I had dealing with here being in New England is I had so many distractions, constantly distraction, like constantly doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. Was never been able to cement my feet and be focused on one particular thing. So that's a tough one. So I'm like, all right, let me see what happens if I train abroad. So I'm going to train abroad for a bit, see what's up. So that should be pretty cool. But other than that, it's more to get different looks, different feels, to get educated, things of that nature. It's all pluses going there. I've been to travel to a bunch of places to train already, and I like it because I only can focus on fighting. There ain't nothing else to do to train and fight in most of the places I've been to, you know?
Yeah. And,
So,
you know, there's a lot of good fighters that come out of Albuquerque. I mean,
yep.
you know, you got what do they call her? Preacher's daughter, fucking Holly Holm. She comes
Holly
out
Holm,
there.
she's cold. Cold.
Man, if people saw her boxing career before the MMA, she was dominant in that in herself. And
Yeah.
I think kickboxing too.
Kickboxing as well, yep.
To be a mixed martial artist like that, shit. If you're listening to it, Holly Holm, come on the show. me and Mike will talk to you real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So like going from here, what is it you want to keep doing, and like what's your future plans for you, Mike?
Right now, my future plan is to win this fight, to perform really well for this fight, and then from there, I'll keep going. I don't like to be like, oh, let's get deep down the rabbit hole into the future or whatever. Like, nah, you know, you got to respect what is the things that's coming up in front of you. So winning, performing really well for this fight, and then I'll go forward from there.
That's awesome. I like that answer, man. Most people,
thank you,
are like, most of my interviews is kind of like, well, not really. They aspire to fight some more, but like, you know, the generic answer. Obviously my main goal is the UFC, and I understand that, but I mean, you know, I've heard good things like, oh, I want to keep going to school and stuff like that. Like, that's some positivity. Like, I like what you're saying, like, live in the present, you know?
Right.
Because, you know, I learned this from somebody a long time ago. If you dwell on the past, it's depression. If you dwell on the future, it's anxiety. And if you live in the present, you don't have any of that shit.
Nah, it's pretty lit, living in the present.
That's a deeper version of that. But I mean, so did they give you a fight, or was yesterday like really early to find that out? I mean, like a fighter who's going against you.
It's been something like flirting with in the works, especially when I be coming around the fights.
Yeah,
I come around the fights. I'm sitting around there. Oh shit! I pressed this damn thing on accident.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
It's pretty cool because like I'm sitting there. I've been sitting there watching the fights. And I'm getting all these fights. I'm like, damn, this shit's inspiring me to get back in there. Just being around the fight community, you're like, oh man, I want to get back into it. And so, yeah, so that's what, and it's again, like, it's been something that's been kind of happening behind the scenes for a little bit. And now it's finally happened.
I'm glad you're back and back in New England.
Yes, sir.
You know, what do you want to say to people who are frustrated about like their record? I know maybe you're not frustrated, but 11-7 for you, that's a dope record. Like,
yeah,
people kind of just, I've seen fighters give up, but like to keep fighting, like somebody's like, oh, they're that record, but you literally ground and pound the shit out of somebody. Like, so is there like a lesson you want to give to people that like are down on their record and like that's all they're concerned about? Like, because it's hard to go friggin' 27-0 or some ridiculous number like that.
I think records is nothing but a number. They don't define who you are. They don't define how good you are. I mean, there's guys who are like 500 and became world champions. You know what I'm saying? Those guys that, you know, it doesn't matter. All that matters at the end of the day is like you as an athlete, as a fighter. It's like you bring the best out of yourself every time you get out there, emptying the gas tank every time you end there. But like, don't shit on yourself over your record, because your record can always change, change, you know. But you just don't focus on it. I know kids that like all dwelling on records, rankings, and shit like that. None of that defines who you are. That is literally just for this split second in your life. And then guess what? That number is going to be gone. You don't look back at the number and like, what the fuck? Like, it's just a number. Like, it literally is just a number. Just like how your old cell phone number is. Who gives a fuck? Like, you know what?
I like that. That's good shit.
Yeah, it's
like
just
your old
a number.
cell number.
That's all
Who
it
gives
is.
a fuck?
Huh?
It's like your old cell number. Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck? Nobody cares. Yeah, but you know, kids do care about that, and I don't like to entirely discredit it. I would tell someone when it becomes unhealthy for them. But if someone's just having a competitive nature about it, then that's fine. But there's some kids that really will kick themselves in the ass about their results, about their record, about their ranking and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, none of that shit matters, you know, because you can be ranked number 5 and you can win 3 fights in a row, but your record can be like, I don't fucking know, like 7-7 or some shit like that. But as long as you perform and finish 3 fights in a row or 2 fights in a row and you're doing all the right things, 9 out of 10, you're probably going to get a call, whether it's on a contender series or making a last minute short notice debut fight. And then you're in the UFC. Nobody gives a fuck. Just because you rank number 1 in New England or wherever your region is, doesn't mean you're going to get a call, you know?
Right.
I've seen kids who've been sitting in the local circuits for fucking years. They should have been got a call, but, you know, just the way the dice rolls, like it just wasn't in their favor. But I don't think you should kick yourself in the ass for that, you know?
Well, I sure say, so Mike, I know you're not undefeated, but I wouldn't fuck with you or Doomsday, that's for sure.
Nah.
Y'all are Dorchester's own, you know? Man. You guys are humble people and you're good people. Like you said, it's like the records. I could give a fuck less. I've seen you both fight and you guys are good. And now I meet you and I'm like, these fucking guys from Dorchester are good peoples.
Yeah.
Unless you're on the other side of the octagon, then that's a different story. Right. So, I mean, I'm excited for you. Yeah, CES 69's coming. Joe's fighting next week or the week after? I think.
Next Saturday, yeah.
And then Peter's fighting Saturday, June 4th. And then I don't know who else from Lausanne's fighting down. I forget.
I don't know. In that next K-Sites card, it's going to be so many guys on that card.
I know, it's ridiculous. Joe throws them in there.
Yeah. Same on the CES card. There's a couple of guys on the CES card as well.
Oh, I'll have to check that out, or you'll be my inside source of the Lausanne crew. So just so everybody knows, Mike was born the day before me in the old 1988 days. So
yes,
that's a reason in itself to follow him.
There you go. I feel like there's not a lot of 88 babies. Everybody I ever meet is always 89. No, we're the 88 guys.
We're the cool fucking kids, man. We're the underground people. We come up and then we'll fuck you up.
For real.
But man, like it's been an honor to talk to you, and I can't wait till CES 69 to come out. And you know, where can people follow you?
They can follow me at Rhode MMA on Instagram or Twitter.
Gotcha. Same name on Twitter?
Same name on Twitter. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So, Michael Rodriguez. Oh, wait. One question. Why do you call your name Slow?
So, when I first got into boxing, like I first started doing boxing mix, actually at Joe Lausanne's gym. The coach there, Steve Mays, was holding mitts for me. He's like, all right, man, come on, like, you know, let me hit some mitts. And I came from Muay Thai, so I was like punching straight from my hips, like with all this power. He's like, holy fuck. And I'm like, what happened? He was like, they should stop calling you Big Mike, call you Slow Mike. He's like, you're punching so fucking slow, like molasses slow. So it just always stuck. And everybody in the gym always called me that. And just the name stuck.
Got you. I needed to know that. I needed to know the behind the name. But yeah, man, I wish you nothing but success. And so everybody I say that comes on my show, you're always welcome, and you become a friend when you join my show. So appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. We're going to take everybody in fucking Massachusetts MMA and get them on this show.
I hear that.
But yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching MattieC Sports for you and me. Make sure to follow Matty Cameron on Twitter at MattCameron23, or follow him on Instagram at MattieC23, or subscribe to his YouTube channel, MattieC Sports for you and me. Once again, thanks for watching.